Do it right. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name's Michelle Honey, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Helen Almond about the life of Joan Edgecombe. So this is all part of a project called Nursing Informatics Development, Implementation and Evaluation over 5 decades. Unfortunately, Joan Edgecombe has passed away. And so we're asking Helen Almond, as the Australian country representative to IMIA-NI, to share something about Joan's life and also to add a little about her personal experience of and what she knows of Joan. So I'm just going to start with the first question. So Helen, if I could ask, could you briefly describe Joan's journey in informatics?
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for inviting me to tell this story. Joan was born in Launceston, which is in Tasmania, right down the bottom of Australia. She began her professional working life in the health industry as a pharmacist assistant in 1959. She then undertook her nurse training at Launceston General Hospital, which is in the north of Tasmania, followed by midwifery training at the Women's Hospital in Melbourne, which is in Victoria, and completed that in 1964. This is where she established her nursing career and worked until 1991. Joan managed the tertiary hospital's neonatal unit before being awarded a Florence Nightingale Scholarship to undertake a graduate diploma in nursing administration. She then moved on to administration, where Joan conducted major hospital-wide specialist projects focused on quality measurement, research, and informatics. Then Joan met her colleague Robin Harvey and decided that nurses needed to have education in computing. So in 1980, they both took a diploma in information technology at Footscray Technical and Further Education Institute. That's just outside Melbourne in Victoria. This is the start of Joan's career in health informatics. In 1995, Joan and Robin called a meeting of nurses with similar interests. More than 70 nurses and midwives turned up at the St George's Hospital in Kew, Victoria. This meeting of nurses and midwives resulted in the establishment of the Nursing Computer Group, Victoria. Joan managed this group's membership and finances and organised a newsletter to advertise of many educational events that were subsequently planned. And by 1986, the group had more than 200 members. Then the group hosted a very successful 4th International Conference on Nursing, Use of Computers and Information Science in Melbourne, 1991. Joan chaired this event and the group till 1992, when the Nursing Group of Victoria officially changed its name to Nursing Informatics Australia. Joan became chair of the newly established national group. The Nursing Group's secretariat then became Health Informatics Society of Australia, known as HISA to us locally. Joan became the management of HISA's secretariat as its executive officer in 1995. In that capacity, she contributed to several government-funded initiatives and strategies. In 2008, Joan retired from Health Informatics Australia, but continued to work tirelessly in the field of health informatics with Evelyn Havenga. Joan established a private company, eHealth Education. Joan worked as a director and as a trainer with this company until her retirement in 2014. She passed away suddenly 5 years later in 2019.
Wow, what an amazing life she's had, and she's done so much. Thank you, Helen. What about other areas of informatics did Joan work in?
Joan worked as a nurse informatics consultant in primary care from 1991 to 1994. And even in those early days, she understood the impact of information technology and what it would have on nursing and healthcare. Joan was committed to nursing, to patient care, and to positive impact that healthcare informatics would have on them both. Much of Joan's work was administrative, and in providing nursing leadership to Nursing Informatics Australia, Joan was a driving force, and her perseverance spearheaded the incredible development of nursing informatics in Australia and across the globe.
I can remember meeting Joan myself. She was a truly remarkable woman. Do you think Joan has inspired or mentored other people? I've read about the scholarship that was established in Joan's name, the Joan Edgecombe Scholarship, that's designed to encourage undergraduate, graduate, diploma, master's and PhD students who demonstrate commitment and promise in the field of health informatics. Could you share a little bit, Helen, please, about the impact that Joan Edgecombe had on your life? Because I believe you were the first recipient of that Joan Edgecombe Scholarship.
Absolutely. And I'm so proud of that scholarship. So until 2012, in my eyes, Joan Edgecombe was nursing informatics, someone I was unlikely ever to meet. Let me provide context. In 2012, I was a PhD candidate. My supervisors had suggested I prepare a submission for the HISA conference. I was very raw to writing in that time. And to my greatest surprise, the paper was accepted. And at this point, I was further encouraged by my supervisors, PhD supervisors, to submit a paper for the inaugural Joan Edgecombe Scholarship. I did so, and 2 weeks later, I received a phone call from Joan, introduce yourself, and after interviewing me, told me I was to be awarded with the inaugural scholarship of the Joan Edgecombe Continuing Professional Development Award at the HISA dinner, where all the award ceremonies took place. I met Joan. That was in 2013. Not only was I delighted, but I was also humbled to be awarded the very first scholarship by this legendary leader in nursing health informatics. Joan remained a caring and approachable mentor to me throughout the remainder of my PhD journey and as an early career researcher. And to this day, Joan remains an inspiration in my work, both in digital health and safety and quality in healthcare, and encourages my continued tenacity and resilience in improving health and care outcomes for all.
That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that, Helen. So what do you think are the biggest challenges that Joan faced? Because in those early days, it must have been very different.
Yeah, Joan faced many challenges in establishing the fledgling nursing informatics and health informatics group in Australia. Financial viability was always an issue, as it is these days, and I was getting support and bring others alongside. So she really struggled in that area to convince people that this was the way forward.
She was really ahead of her time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? What do you think were the most rewarding aspects of her informatics work then?
Joan was able to recognise opportunities for innovation. Without Joan, Nursing Informatics Australia, Health Informatics Society of Australia, the National Health Informatics Conferences, and the Australasian Institute of Digital Health would not have happened. The legacy of a vibrant health informatics community in Australia must have been hugely rewarding for Joan. Joan was welcoming to all and showed an interest in nursing and health informatics. She encouraged, supported, and assisted many individuals in their career development. Joan was a great leader who loved the health informatics community. She influenced many individuals who now have fond memories of her.
I guess that includes you and I too.
Absolutely.
So what advice do you think Joan might have had for the next generation of informatics nurses coming through?
Thank you for this. Joan's persistence and total commitment to the promotion of health informatics discipline meant that she never gave up. I'd like to think Joan's message to others would be to persevere, show determination, and to support nursing informatics. Thank you, Joan.
Yeah, And thank you, Helen. That's a lovely point to leave it on too. I think that's something that every nurse can take forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate it.